Bonsoir, everybody. Bienvenue. Je m'appelle Huw, and welcome back to the Top 14 Digest. This is your weekly short-ish podcast capturing all of the news and results in the world of the French Top 14, and most importantly, le gossip. I am not on my own. I am joined, as always, by my co-host from the Atlantic Coast, Madame Maz Mac. Bonsoir, Maz.
Bonsoir, Huw. How are you?
I'm very well, Maz. We've got barely any time this evening. I will have attracted people's attention to this podcast with the thumbnail and title. So for people watching on YouTube, use the timestamps if you want to skip straight to that bit. Otherwise, this podcast is all about the top 14, talking about the action. We are one of, I think, just 3 English-speaking top 14 shows anywhere in the world, as far as I'm aware. And we are the only one with a female co-host. So congratulations, Maz. You are officially unique.
A lot of people would say that, but for different reasons.
Okay, right. Quickly, there's no time. So the scores on 14 is how we begin the show, as always. Starting off in the early kickoff on Saturday, we had RC Toulon defeated Lyon Rugby 54 points to 21 in what was a high-scoring but pretty uncompetitive game. Toulon were winning it the whole time. But speaking of uncompetitive games, Bayonne versus Montauban, 49-7, and that 7 only came in the 77th minute. Maz, we'll talk about Montauban a little bit later on, so keep your powder dry on that. One thing I will ask you about...
There were 2 doublés in that game for Bayonne, just to let you know. Lucas Martin is the hooker, and Tom Spring. They both got doublés.
Yes, I was watching the French highlights, and they went, le talonneur, le doublé, and I was like, yes. I understand what that means.
Hooker, as in hook, talon.
Yes.
Hook. Yes.
Yes. Cast versus UBB, however, Maz, I do want to ask you about a decent result for UBB's team, sans all of their French internationals away from home. However, Cast did their best to make sure that this result was safe. What didn't it? Just fill us in what happened in this one.
It's always a hard place to get a result anyway. And it was 26 Cast, 28 UBB. Some nice tries, and the UBB pack actually did a lot of good work. But it was at I think the 84th minute, Huw went over to get a bonus defensive. Their losing bonus point try for Cast. So, yeah, it was it was okay. The tries were scored were pretty good. So there was a lot of non-event in the middle though.
Yeah. I think it was as a weekend generally, it was pretty non-eventful.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Montpellier 7, Clermont 9. Look, it's an away win for Clermont, but this is what you might call proper rugby. We'll come back to this one in a bit, Maz. I think we'll come back to it. I will come back to the next one as well because it's our game of the week. The El Clasico was also played this weekend, 29-17. Toulouse defeating Stade Francais, the 2 most successful teams in French top 14 history. But I think, Maz, the most important thing of this one was actually what happened at half-time. Remind us.
Oh, yes. Oh, there was a little bit of a halftime entertainment. Normally you have dancing girls and things like that. But Antoine Dupont, he did his big sign up until 31.
Yes.
Yes, 31, yeah. And it was very much for all the lights, camera action, a lot of background done, and then he walked out into the pitch and read his little speech, and yes, it was quite the thing, quite the spectacle, as they would say. Yeah, well done, Antoine.
Yes. Oh, and we've got 2 different reports of how much he's earning because people love that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've heard 900,000 a year, and I've heard 600,000 a year, or read. Sorry, but then I kind of go, has people just got the 9 and the 6 kind of mixed up? So I don't really know, but he's taking a lot of their salary cap, put it that way.
Well, indeed, but I'm sure that the FFR will enforce a Dupont allowance to make sure that it's fine. But Maz, Toulon don't pay the most, as our commenters regularly remind us that players are very willing to get paid less for the privilege of playing for Toulouse. So,
exactly.
So yeah.
There's others, like what have they, a 52 or 54 man squad or something? You go onto the website and count them. I think it's 50, I can't remember, it's 52 or 54. They have a 10.7 million salary cap. Some of those guys have to be on quite high wages. So some of them are playing for free. just for the joy of winning
It's
titles.
remarkable,
Know that.
just for
You can
just
know
for the
that.
pleasure of playing for Toulouse. It's got nothing to do with money at all. To be fair, Maz, when we saw that team sheet that Toulouse put out, I won't bring it up because I've got time, but you did think that's them without their French internationals.
Yeah,
By
yeah,
gosh, what a squad!
yeah, yeah, yeah. And one of our favourites, he was playing at 10, wasn't he? Juan Cruz.
Juan
I
Cruz
think.
Malia, yes, played at 10.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
him.
yeah, he was. Yeah. I mean, they were getting beaten at half time, and then they scored 21 points in 21 minutes in the second half. So, yeah, they can
And
just trump, can't they?
that was the end of that. And then the final game, which we were rather hoping would be a spectac because we were struggling for spectacs for this week. But unfortunately, La Rochelle smashed Racing 33-6, Racing Fanny in the second half. Yeah, not tons to say about that, but there was stuff to say about what happened afterwards, but we shall come to that later. But Maz, our game of the week, we decided eventually was Pau versus USAP. Tell us why you selected this one.
Well, we selected it because USAP, or Perpignan, as most people would know them, actually got the first point of the season. They got a losing bonus point. The final score was Pau 27 and Perpignan 23. So they got a bonus point. So that's then we can no longer go back to them for a fanny or that kind of thing. So that's good. It was actually quite an entertaining game. And I mean, Pau in the first half, they really dominated. There was a beautiful try. Jack Maddox's try was absolutely gorgeous in about the 20th minute down the
I
left.
shall show it to the people now.
Hey, okay, yeah. Down the left-hand side, it was sublime, I think is the word that they used on television here. Really nice. That was probably the highlight of the first half. They did get a second try just before half time. And yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? Yeah, really nice. And Tommaso Allen got 2 penalties, so it was 15-6 at half time. Just after the second half, Pau got another try. It was taken from a very quick penalty. It tapped the goal just in front of the goals, and it went up to 22-6, and you're going, okay, can see where this is going. Pau are going to run away with it. But no, and this guy, he's a huge guy, but he had a huge game. Pasola Tuilagi. He took a charge, and he must have got 4 or 5 fellas with him. It was like they were hanging off him. Geronimo de la Fonte, because I like saying that name a lot. He passed out. Yeah, it's a great name. It's best name in rugby. Passed out to wide to the right, and Veridamo, I think it was, went over the line for a try. Then we had lots of handbags. Jamie Ritchie was involved in a lot of handbags. There's a surprise that we didn't really think would happen much. And another one of our favourites, Emile Gaetan, he got a try in the 60th minute.
Can't stop scoring at the moment, him.
Yeah, I know. He's doing quite well, isn't he? Yeah, yeah. And that was 27-13. And again, you're going, yeah, that's it. But not long after that, Perpignan got a maul try with 14 men, I might add, as well. Very impressive maul try. And Tommaso Allen got a penalty in the 69th minute that brought it up to 27-23. And they managed to hang on. First point of the season. But they had 3 yellow cards. 3 yellow cards, which you can't be at, you know?
No, I looked up something to do with that earlier. I was going to bring it up later, but I shall bring it up now. USAP Perpignan are top of the top 14 for yellow cards. They have 13 in 9 games.
Yeah, yeah. They're even doing better than Racing, which is actually saying a lot. Yeah.
It absolutely is. But Perpignan also a new coach to talk about.
Yes, they do. Laurent Labie, who was one of the many coaches that were through the swinging door at Stade Francais last season, he's taken over and brought a new team in with him, including Joe Worsley. And the second guy that I actually can't remember his name, which isn't very good. And they've kept Nicolas Ma. He's still looking after the pack. And so it'll be interesting to see. There's now a 2-week break. So it gives him, I suppose, a bit of time with the team and see how that goes. But they have a lot of players injured. When they start to come back, they should improve. They should improve. Although,
well, I kind of said this when the team sheets came out, and I was like, from an outsider's point of view, someone who maybe doesn't know the French players that well. In terms of internationally recognizable stars, I think Perpignan have more than Pau. Look, the Pau obviously have international recognizable stars, Julien
Mm.
Montoya being no less, but they homegrown more players like Atisogbe and Gaetan and stuff. And Maddox, if you watch Pau, but you don't necessarily know. Whereas Perpignan, they had Moussa Diaby, they had Jamie Ritchie, they had Thomas Sower Allen,
Mm.
the names that have been in and around the international stage for a while. So, Labi is an experienced guy. He's had loads of success. I think he's won 2 top 14 titles.
Yeah.
And of course, he's been international assistant coach with France. So,
Mm. Yeah, when you read his CV, it's quite good. But I mean, last year at Stade, it was very far from being good. So it'll be an interesting one, And remember, we had Perpignan as one of our kind of bolters because of the signings they made. So yeah, interesting to see how they'll go.
We very much did. Okay, before we go on to the break, and there is more to come, people, stay tuned. We need to do our Fanny of the Week. So Fanny being the French word for the team that was nilled or did not achieve something, or someone who just did something a bit daft, in the case of this podcast. But it's a very pure and innocent interpretation of the word this week, Maz. Who is our Fanny of the Week this week?
Yeah. Can I just say something? We have a few Fannies to choose from. Once again, we had 3. And last week we just asked, we have a good thing. And Box Fan Forever gave us a great name, A Fool of Fannies, which is actually a crowd of Fannies. So thank you for that.
Yes.
That was cool. That was cool.
I do remember.
Yeah. Our Fanny of the Week is one of our least favorite teams, Montpellier. The game against Clermont, which even the purists, I don't think, would just be able for. It was 0-3 at half time. That gives you an indication of what went on there. It was a home game for Montpellier as well. And then it went up to 0-9. And in the 72nd minute, Leo Colby scored a try. So that took them out of being in the Fanny-less or the Fanny, situation. They actually then hit the posts, which could have given them the win in the 78th minute or something like that. But last week, they were also a Fanny until the 72nd minute as well when they scored a try. So you're talking about playing a game of 80 minutes and you only score in 8 minutes. So that's 160 minutes, 16 minutes you've actually scored something, and it's
10%.
You're the stats man, not me. Yeah.
Okay, so that's our Fanny of the Week. Thank you, Maz.
Yeah.
So, before we go any further, just want to remind people that if you're enjoying the show so far, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. I'm on a quest to 10,000. I would love it if you were along for the ride too. Or if you're listening on Spotify, which many of our listeners do, you can get involved in the comments. We always reply to all of the comments, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify. You can follow on Spotify, or you can even watch the show on Spotify because it allows videos on there now. That's all very exciting. Still to come, we shall be previewing the France versus South Africa big game of the weekend, so stay tuned for that. Okay, Maz, we're still on top 14 duty for now, and we need to talk about the gossip of the week. Once again, we were a little bit worried that nothing was going to come up, and then something very exciting happened. One of our old favorites on this show, one of our most guaranteed gossip merchants, your friend and mine, Ronan O'Gara, decided to pick up a microphone, take a seat, and tell people what he thought.
Yes,
what is he thinking, Maz?
Yeah, and it took until the 9th game of the season for him to do it. After the press conference, he wasn't happy because in the 3rd round, there was a game cancelled in Toulon. It was Toulon against La Rochelle because there was a huge storm, and it was a Sunday night game, and it was cancelled. You just couldn't play. I remember, I think we had the scenes of players kind of surfing over the pitch and things like that.
Yeah, it wasn't a trivial reason. It was very much not able to be played.
Yeah, exactly. And then there wasn't somewhere available on the Monday. And then there was also the thing of the play on the Monday, then it's too close to the games on the Saturday, blah, blah, blah. But he decided in the presser that he was going into what he said, the whole situation was catastrophic, to use, I can't do a Munster French accent, but it was catastrophic I think it was what he said. And that he was going to go back into the dressing room and ask the players if they wanted to go down to Toulon and play the game or not. Because there's a 2-week break now in the top 14. So other teams have their 2 weeks holidays, but neither Toulon or La Rochelle. And he said that this wasn't fair and that his team deserved a holiday, and he was going to put it to the players. And if they said that they didn't want to go, well, that they weren't going to go. Then one of the journalists said to him, have you put this past the owners of the club? No, the big grin on his face. And he says, when you look at it, he said, Lyon have gone there and been beaten, or taken 45 points, I think Racing 50, something to that effect.
If you're not
so
called
we could
Toulouse,
go down,
you don't win in Toulon.
No. So we could go down there and just get a hammering. So do we do that and forfeit the game, or, just have the nice 2 weeks holidays? But they're not allowed actually to forfeit a game in.
Yeah, so it turns out they are going to play the game, and it's on next week, so everyone can look forward to that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it is a Saturday after. But this was, and thank you, Rog, for this, because we've missed you. We really missed you.
Oh, we have.
Yeah. So he caused a lot of stir about that, and it's one of those unfortunate things. But the game couldn't have been played when it was, and there you go. Thank you, Rog.
Thank you, Rog. So going on from the gossip of the week to the stat of the week is our next portion of the show. My stat of the week this week is USMS, or Montauban to you and me. Not very good. They're not very good, unfortunately. Love them to bits. They are averaging away from home this season 61 points conceded, averaging. So of their 5 games so far, they have conceded 45 tries away from home, which maths fans will tell you is an average of 9 per game. So their result of 49 points to 7 defeat away to Bayonne that they got this weekend just gone is actually, by their standards, above average. So
cool.
That kind of tells you how it's going, Maz. Well, we predicted that things weren't going to go great for them, to be honest, this season, Maz. And look, they came 6th in the Pro de Deux and they won via the playoffs, an incredible run that no one was expecting. And to be honest, they look like a mid-table Pro de Deux team.
Yeah, they do at the moment, don't they? Yeah, bless them. You kind of feel sorry for them, but they're still second bottom. I mean, they're still 6 points ahead of the nearest rival. So I actually read today where somebody was saying that it is quite possible, I don't know if it's happened before, that the 2 bottom teams in the top 14 could go down and the 2 Pro de Deux teams could go up. So yeah, quite possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, Van are going very well in the Pro de Deux at the moment. Yeah. They are really humming along. I would say that there are probably teams in the Pro de Deux a bit better set up for them. And this is kind of the thing. We spoke about it before, didn't we, Maz, about how come the bottom team of the top 14 gets relegated, but the top team of the Pro de Deux still has to go through a playoff.
Yeah. And a lot of talk going on about that recently. So whether they'll look at changing that in a season or two, certainly not this season. They might look at it because there's a lot of noise going on around this, that the team that comes first really should be promoted straight away. So I agree.
Look, this is a controversial opinion, especially when you said like they're not actually technically bottom currently, but would Grenoble have been better value for the top 14 as a feature than Montauban? This is nothing personal against them, but you know, it doesn't suit anybody to have a team getting smashed this heavily. You know, Perpignan haven't been picking up the points, but they've been conceding less, at least, if that's anything.
Yeah. But they've had a win at home and a draw at home. The bet Perpignan at home and the drew at Montpellier at home, and then they got a losing bonus point, and I can't remember who that was against. So, you know, time will tell.
So that's the stat of the week anyway. The Did You See That of the week features one of our favourite Fijians, Maz, due to one in Golo, but not for a good reason this week. He scored a fantastic length of the field try again, but unfortunately, not only was it chalked off, he was also yellow carded for his troubles. So what was it? It was an interception and he was offside and he ran the length and then he got yellow carded.
Yeah, and it was the smile on his face when he ran the length of the pitch to score this try against his old team, and big smile. And then all the way back up, and Rosier decided he needed to go up, and he was offside at a ruck, and it was. I mean, it really
It was.
was.
I was looking at it. I was like, just give him a try, lads. Like it wasn't clear cut for me, in my opinion.
No, yeah. And at the time, it was only 7-3 to Toulon. So that would possibly have put Lyon ahead. And he was still smiling at the ref, kind of, this big grin, kind of going, oh, okay, it's been disallowed. And then he got the yellow card. But the yellow card was for repetitive faults. And the team had already been warned. It wasn't because really of what he had done. He was just the unfortunate guy. And I was like, oh, no.
That's brutal. But Toulon won the game comfortably in the end. So I'm not sure how much.
He did get a try. He did get a try at the end of the game.
He did.
He did, and he also has 7 tries in 6 games. He's going quite well. Yeah,
he's doing very well, very well.
Yeah.
Speaking of it, Maz, then it's time to name the Fijian of the week. I don't actually know who you've picked this week, so you have to tell me.
My Fijian of the week is probably a bit odd because he was in a team that got a fanny, which was Racing 92, but Nathan Hughes. And to me, he's probably he's a huge surprise to me. I didn't know an awful lot about him before he came to play in the top 14s, and he's probably one of the best signings in the top 14s this year. He is absolutely outstanding in every game. And this is just an overall, it wasn't so much his game the other night, even though he was the best of the Racing players. His overall season, he scored 3 tries. He's a huge ball carrier, isn't he? And
he gets stuck in.
Oh, man alive. He really is. His tackles completed, turnovers, he has it all. So fair play. I have to give him that. He's done very, very well. Very impressed.
Yes, and that one's a bit left field. So we're varying up the Fijian of the week to keep it interesting because we just can't keep picking one N'Golo every single week. But Maz, it's very nearly time for us to talk about the big game. So before we talk about our France versus South Africa preview, and as you will have worked out by now, pick a combined 15 for these two teams, just want to remind everybody that if you would like to support this channel that you are currently watching a bit more, you can get membership on YouTube for just 99p per month. If you do that, you'll get access to a select group of videos that you will not find anywhere else, that you can only watch through channel membership, whether that's match day vlogs when I go to games, whether that's outtakes of longer videos, whether that's anything else that I decided that I fancied doing. You can check it out there, and all of that money goes back into helping me run this channel. And the cat has gotten off my lap now, so I can pull a bit closer to the lap. So I'm very appreciative to anybody who takes me up on that. Thank you in advance. Right, Maz, come on. I mean, the important bit now. It is selecting ours/mine combined 15 for the big game of the weekend, the big international test match, arguably the test match of the whole of November. France versus the Springboks, the first time these two have played since the World Cup quarterfinal, which, only occasionally both sides mention. What was it you were telling me was in Medial this week?
Yeah, Midi Olympic. Their first 3-4 inside pages was all about the last match against South Africa. They actually even went a minute by minute, not a minute by minute, but they did the important minutes in the game, like the 20th, the 34th, things like that. Oh, it was quite impressive. Also about the scars that has left on the team and the psychological side of it. And I was kind of going,
didn't Galtier say
I was hoping to turn the page and get over it, kind of thing, but it just kept going on.
Yeah. So, I rewatched that game on YouTube lately. The whole game is on YouTube, and I watched it recently, and it's the best rugby match ever that I've ever seen. Like, France really had the Springboks in trouble at times during that game. I thought Piotr Malvaka was amazing in that game. I thought Dwayne Vermeulen was amazing in that game, and particularly, I think the difference in that game was Cheslin Colby and Kurtley Arendse were both absolutely electric. And I think without those two players, France win that game for me.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually in Marseille because I had been to the Fiji England quarter final, and it was afterwards. And like that, again, I had to rewatch it 2 or 3 times because when you're at something like that, you don't really see a game. You're in a big crowd and you're sipping on a Coca-Cola and stuff as you do. No rum involved or anything like that. But yeah, it was quite a game, wasn't it? It probably was the game of the tournament.
But unbelievable, unbelievably high quality, high stakes, high everything. So let's get on with it then. This is what people have been waiting for.
Okay.
So this is your challenge to me, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm giving you a choice of players and you're going to have to tell me who you pick on your team.
Okay. Then you tell me whether I'm right or wrong. Also, we did this as a poll on Twitter. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow us at RugbyVu or just search Parlez-Vous French Rugby. And you can find us there where we post clips from this. We post clips from the top 14. We post stats, post news, post everything. So once I've given you my answer, I can tell you what the people said as well. And of course, people, most importantly, can let us know down in the comments below whether they agree or disagree with me.
Yeah. Okay, your loose head prop or your pilier gauche.
I was hoping that you would tell us the French one.
Pilier gauche. You have a choice of Jean-Baptiste Gros, Gérard Steinkamp, Thomas Dutoit, or Baptiste Erdocchio.
Okay, so for me, it's important to say that we're not considering injured players for this. So normally I would select Oxen Jay for this, but because he's not available, I think I'm just going to have to give it to Thomas Dutoit for me.
Okay, I've ticked that. Okay.
And I can tell you that the people also voted for Thomas Dutoit.
Yeah, I would too, actually. Yeah. The hooker or talonor, because you've got a talon, is Julien Marchand or Malcolm Marx.
Well, once again, Maz, for me, if they were fit, I would choose Piato Morvaca over both of these. I think he's absolutely world class.
Yeah.
But out of these two, earlier in the year, I thought that Malcolm Marx was living on reputation, but in the last few games, he's really impressed me a lot. So I'm going to go Malcolm Marx for this.
Okay, I would too, funnily enough. Yeah. And he had a lot of injuries and stuff. So yeah, he's coming back into his own.
Okay.
Your tight head
the people went for, sorry, you need to give me a chance to say what the people said. The people said 58% Malcolm Marx also.
Oh, close enough. Yeah. Tight head prop or your pilier droit. A pilier is like something that holds you up as a
pillar.
A column.
Yes, that's how I remember it.
Yeah. You have Régis Montan, Vilko Louvre, as Anti or Aldegheri, Florian Aldegheri.
Asanati.
Asanati. Yeah. And please excuse my pronunciation of everything.
It's okay. So,
yeah.
Out of these, I think scrummaging, it has to be Wilco Low for me. I think he's arguably the best scrummaging tight head in the world at the moment. So I'm going Wilco Low.
I would have gone Aldegheri. Don't know why.
A lot of people have gone Aldegheri. I'll tell you what people have gone. So 74% have gone Wilco Low, but of the French options, Aldegheri is what people went with as well.
Okay. Then you've got your locks. You've got Iban, Thibaut Flamand, Sinman, or Hugo Ardu.
Snyman.
Sorry.
Just go. So this is the 4-lock. so this is 4-lock first. So
yeah.
I'm going to be controversial, Maz, because everybody I think assumes that I'm just automatically going to pick Ibn Etzebeth. But right now, as we sit recording here on the 4th of November 2025, out of those options, I'm going for Thibaut Flamand.
Yeah, he's having he's one of those underrated players, and we've talked about this before. He's having a sensational season, and there isn't a lot in it, is there?
A lot of people will, I'm sure any South Africans watching will be saying that Eben and Archer, Snyman, should pick both of those. And of course, with locks, there's always the argument about whether you go 4 and 5. So But for me, I'm such a fan of Thibaut Fleury. So if people
Yeah,
disagree with me on that, that's fine. It's allowed, but that's where
yeah.
I'm going. So that's 4 lock. So what about 5 lock?
Ruanotzi, Meerfu, Moster, and Tuifona.
Okay. So out of those, the one
Hmm.
that I am the biggest fan of is Ruben Nokia, plays for the Bulls. I think he's been excellent, and I think since he's come into the South African team, he it has been standout, especially at line-out time. So out of
Okay.
those options, I'm going to go for him. I can tell you that the
Hmm.
people went for Emmanuel Miafu. 70% of people went for Emmanuel Miafu.
Wow,
So the
that's
people, yeah, so the people have selected a combo of Eben Etzebeth and Manny Miafu, which is obviously a massive combination physically. Um, but if I could do anything, if I could break the rules, then I would go for a combination of Etzebeth and Flamont. Is who
yeah.
I could pick anybody. But
Oh yeah,
out of
wouldn't
all
that
the
be?
locks, the one who won his poll by the most was Manny Miafu.
Yeah. Wow. And he didn't have a great start to the season because he was injured. And it seems to have taken him a while to get back into form, but he has been for the last few games. So yeah, that will be an interesting one. That
Yeah.
really will be, yeah, yeah. That's of course if Fabian Galti picks him. Who knows?
Well, I think we kind of went off the expected teams, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We did indeed. Um, After that, we have our
Sorry, that was the
open
Doozy
side.
and Leans, we should say.
That was the Deuxième Lean. Sorry, they don't call them, they just call them Deuxième Lean as in second row. Now we're going on to the Troisième Lean, which is the third row. Your open side, Sia or Paul Boudehon.
Now, I think Sia Khaleesi is in potentially career best form, at least since I've been watching him. I know that when he was with the Stormers, he was tearing up trees as well. But since I've been watching him, this is as good as Sia's been playing. Obviously, not just as a player, but as a sportsman, just iconic,
Yeah.
as a cultural figure as well. So that's why it tells you how highly I rate Paul Budahon that I'm actually going to go for him, which
Ooh.
is controversial. I know. I can tell you that 65% of people went for Sia Khaleesi, and I can't tell those people that they're wrong because I love the guy, but I
Mm.
just think Paul Budahon is amazing at the moment.
Yeah, he is in very, very good form. And in front of a home crowd will boost him on as well. But you know what? That wise head of Sia, I think, will just get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he's an amazing form, but I think it's the wisdom that's in the head as well. Yeah, see
Mm.
what we might pick on that one. But it'll be very interesting. Very, very interesting. That's for sure. Then your blind side, Peter Steff or Anthony Jeanlot.
Peter Steff. It's got to be Peter Steff every day of the week.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'll go with that too. And then your number 8, Jasper Wiese, Michael Guillard, Gregory Aldrich, and Quagga.
So interestingly for this one, 67% of people said Gregory Aldred, which doesn't look like it's going to be the way that Fabien Galtier goes. It looks like that he's going to go for Michael Guillard, who played
Yeah,
there in the summer, but is normally a second row.
yeah.
But that looks like where they're going. For me, I think I would have to choose Jasper Wiese because
Okay.
of the impact that he has had since he's come back into the box team over the summer. He
Mm,
was obviously banned for a bit. When he came back in, he made a big difference. So I'm going to
okay.
go for Jasper Wiese, but I'm a huge fan of Aldridge, although he was quiet for La Rochelle the other night.
Yeah, he did score a try. It was his 150th game. And then after the game, he came out and he did an interview with Canal Plus as they were walking around the pitch, saying that he needed to get back. He was he was one of the players released by the French team to go back to their club. And he was saying that he needed to get back to La Rochelle to feel some love, which is something that we've talked about in other podcasts, and that's for another day. But he did score a try. Um, I've seen him in better form, and I would pick Giard over him, and I think I might. Yeah, it's a close one. Yeah, Jasper has the experience, I think, over Giard.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, just about.
Next.
is your scrum half, your Demi
Maxime
Malee.
Lucu. I choose Maxime Lucu. Of
Nobody
course,
else.
Dupont's injured. The other
Yeah.
options, I think,
Ah,
the options in the poll were Cobus Reinach, Grant Williams. I really rate Grant Williams. Nolan
mm,
Legarec, who apparently is set to start, but
yeah,
Maxime Lucu. We're not going to argue Maxime Lucu, and that's what 58% of the people in the poll said as well.
yeah, I go for that. Then your fly half, your Demi Overture, you've got a choice of Le Beau Andre, Le Beau Andre, Le Beau Andre, or Le Beau Andre.
Are you saying that I have to pick Andre Pollard, who happens to be one of your favorite players in the world,
Exactly. That's your choices. You're gonna
even though he played for Montpellier?
Yeah, he did back in the day when Montpellier were a really good team to be around. Yeah.
Okay.
You have Roman Entimac, Sasha, Le Beau Andre, or Manny.
Well, I would normally have picked Sasha, but because in the poll only 1.3% of people voted for Manny, I'm picking Manny because he's one of my
Oh,
favorite players and I want him to feel the
okay.
love. So, Manny,
Okay.
I choose you. Also, Luku and Manny Lebok halfback combo is the two of the most disrespected players in the whole world.
It'd be quite a thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Where are we going? Left wing, allié gauche.
Yep.
We have, this is an exciting one. Kurt Lee, LBB, or Ethan Hooker.
So I think Ethan Hook is fairly behind in this one, and I think
Yeah.
that's reflected in our poll where one person voted for Ethan Hooker. So shout out to Mrs. Hooker, Ethan's mum. Nice, thank you for getting involved. Look, Kurt Lee versus LBB, that is a hard choice. Both of these players are amazing.
Yeah.
These are probably the two best left wingers in the world, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
I think for his try scoring record over the last 12 to 18 months, I have to go LBB because he's just scored more tries.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to this, though. This should be really good. But yeah, LBB for me as well. Your inside centre. Oh, I like some of these. Damien de Allende, Gail Ficou, Nicolas Deporter, and Andre Estepais.
Ooh, so for me, it has to be Damien de Allende. I think that he's clearly better than Andre Esterhazen. And I think that centre is probably France's weakest area at the moment, in that you've got Gail Ficou, who's a legend, but he's kind of not at his peak, and he'd be playing probably at 12, which I don't think is his best position.
No.
And then Nicolas Deporter, who we're both a massive fan of, but hasn't established himself on the international stage yet. Euro Moefana is out injured, so we haven't considered him.
Yeah.
So for me, it's Damien de Allende all day long.
Yep. Got to agree. And then my favourite position ever in the world, outside centre. So you've Jess, Barassi, Canon Moody, or Gaetan.
So France, we're expecting to pick Pierre-Louis Barassi, who neither of us really rates. So that's kind of the weird one that Galtier's got to be in his bonnet about for me. I've been really impressed by Kanan Moody, and I think that Gaetan is someone else who I'm a massive fan of. But for me, out of those options, I just have to give it to Jesse Creel. Just about. I think him and Kanan Moody are very close at the moment. Obviously, Jesse Creel and Damien de Allende is a very established partnership. So just about going for Jesse Creel. I can tell you that's what the people chose as well. 58% for Damien de Allende and 56% for Jesse Creel.
Wow. Okay. That was close. Then your right wing, your allié droite. Oh, Damien Peno or Cheslin Colby. Wow. Where do you even go?
And of course, Theo Atasogbe is not eligible because he's injured. Oh, wow.
Can we have both?
God, that's hard. So, Maz, I never really spoke to you about when Cheslin was playing in France. What was kind of the feeling around him? Because he was obviously at Toulouse and Toulon, and actually got capped for the Springboks when he was there. Do you have much memory of him playing for those teams?
Yeah, I do. And he was good. He was always good. Yeah. I actually think in a way he played better at Toulon than he did at Toulouse, because at Toulouse you've always got the big team around you, and sometimes we talk about that. You can look better with all the superstars around you. There was always a bit of going between between Toulouse and Toulon is never a nice or a popular thing to do. But oh God, where would you go with this? Where would you go with this?
I think if I'm being consistent, it's unquestionable that Cheslin Colby has achieved more. So you're asking me who the greater player is.
Yeah.
It's Cheslin Colby, but who would I pick right now? I think Colby is having a bit of a quiet season by his standards, or maybe it's just the most recent games. I'm going to get killed for this in the comments. But I would go for the same reason as I picked LBB. Damien Penaud scores more tries, so I'm going for him,
Oh,
and that's what the people
really?
went for as well. 59% of people went for Damien Penaud.
Really?
Mm.
Okay. Ah, that's interesting. I think, as you know, I love Peno because he plays for UBB, but funnily enough, I go for Colby on this. Ah.
So the comments will like you.
And then fullback, Thomas Ramos or Damien Willemse?
I think this is the hardest one. I
Mm,
think this is the I think this is the two, like, wow, how can you leave one of these guys out? And you could argue that you could play Willemse at 12 and avoid having to do that. And I think that Ramos is so important to France. So important to France. He might be France's most important player.
yeah.
And obviously goal kicks as well, which helps kind of his presence in people's minds.
Mm,
But I'm asking myself, if both were eligible for both teams, would Razzie pick Ramos? And
mm,
I'm not sure. Whereas I think if Willemse was eligible for France, I think Galtier would pick him every single game. Whether
yeah.
that be at 12, probably would be at 12 or somewhere else. I think that Willemse is amazing. But
Yeah.
I think this is the hardest one. I think I think the back three, I think you've got the
Mm,
best three in there, the best six in those positions in this game.
yeah. 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 Absolutely.
So I don't think there's a wrong answer, but I'm going to have to disagree with 79% of people who voted for Tomo Ramos.
Ooh,
And I'm going to say Damien Willemse.
yeah. I would too, actually. That's based on not based on not a lot, but I think, yeah, I think I would pick him too. Mm.
Mm, mm. Okay. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Get involved in the comments. Be constructive, be fair. Put across your point of view articulately, and we'll respond to it. It's not bias. It's not about who we like more. I think you find that I've picked an entire South African front row, so it's not about that. But if you disagree, that's allowed. I don't mind. I won't be offended. So quickly, Maz, let's just do the predictions. Get it out of the way. Who do you think's winning this one?
South Africa.
I agree as well. I
Yeah,
think I think purely because it's France's first game. I think if this was
yeah,
played at the end of the Six Nations, France win. But because it's first
yeah,
game up, I think South Africa win.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, I think it will be close. All their games are pretty close, aren't they? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It might be a bit spicy. I'm actually thinking might be a bit of handbags. A bit of a bagarre générale or two going on.
Yeah, I can see that as well. I can see that as well. And don't forget to predict our other secret game, which is Toulon versus La Rochelle in the top 14.
Too
Any
long because
disagreement
they
with
haven't been
Toulon?
beaten at
Rog
home
thinks
in what,
Toulon.
17, 18, 17 games they haven't lost at my house, so too long.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you to everybody who's watched fully to the end, or hello to the people who just skipped to that end bit to watch that. We love you all the same. That just leaves me to say merci beaucoup, Madame Maz.
Avec plaisir, Huw.
Merci beaucoup to everybody for listening. Enjoy your rugby, and I hope that everybody's team wins. Bye bye.
Bye.